welcome back. In this video, I'm going to show how to configure a simple HTML website in Apache. I'm going to show how to do a startup script when you create an instance in Google Cloud instances. And also in this video, I'm going to use the default directories that the Apache has. I have created another video about creating or configuring a HTML website in Apache and in personal, creating personal directories. But in this video, I'm going to make a short one and a simple steps how to configure a website, a simple website in a default Apache directories. So first, we're going to create an instance. We're going to leave instance 3, or maybe you can create instance Apache. We're going to create in Oregon. Since we live in Oregon, it's recommended to use the zone that is, or region that is close to the area where you live for the delay issues. We use the A2, and in the machine type, we use the micro. We go further in the boot disk. We go here and we choose the Ubuntu, and we choose a standard one. And it's always generating the cost for every configuration. In firewalls, we're going to allow HTTP. I'm going to allow HTTPS, even though it's not part of this video, to show how to run a website in HTTPS, but we just selected. And in advanced options, in the management, there is an option here for startup script. So for the startup script, in the moment that the operating system is going to run in Ubuntu, it's going to do automatically an update and also the installation of the Apache2. So is the bin bash, which is the standard, which is the way how you write the script, and it does the first line, it does the update, and it does the installation of the Apache2. So you don't have to install one by one or to run the command one by one. The other thing that I wanted to explain here in this video, there is an option here for the equivalent code. If you click it, it's going to show and it's going to generate the code in how to create this instance with this configuration in command line, in Rust, and in Terraform. So in command line, you see that all the configuration that you have been choosing, it's even the metadata or the startup script, it shows how to create and how to run. Also in Terraform, that I have created even in the other videos, this is the code that you can run through Terraform. So is it specifies the resources, the Ubuntu version, and all the detail. It is even the metadata or the startup script, all the detail configuration that you have been doing and giving to this instance. And it is all the choices that you have been doing here, it is configured in this way in Terraform. This is a very nice way to understand and to progress your skills in Terraform code language, how to write it and how to translate or how to understand it. So I just wanted to show that this option is just to show some equivalent code. Maybe this is very advanced, and some of them when you create, you don't have to write every single field, but that's another way how you can generate a Terraform code from your instance that you are creating. So now my instance has all the necessary configuration. It has the name, it has the region and the zone, the machine type and the machine configuration. It has a disk, the boot disk, and also the firewalls, and it has even the startup script. So now the only thing I'm gonna create it. It's gonna take some time. Also, I wanted to say that my website code is saved in my public repository in my GitHub account. So in this video, I'm going to show how to clone a repository or a public repository from your GitHub account. If your repository is not public and you are struggling to do the clone, you can go to the settings, and there is an option here that in a danger zone that you can change the visibility from public to private or from private to public, and it's going to help you to clone. There is another method how you can clone a repository that is public but is private, but that's not part of this video. So this video I'm going to show only how to clone through the HTTPS link. So now the Apache is installed, is ready, running. It has an external IP, and you can go here and check all the configurations. And if you have anything that it doesn't work, or you want to edit something, there is always an edit option that allows you to edit or to do further configurations according to your need. Now we're gonna provision it. There is a gcloud comment here that you only can copy paste, or you can go here, comment, or you can use a simple SSH and write a very simple way to provision or connect with our instance. Accept it. Now you see that there are 6 updates. You can run apt-zip. You can run this command to see what is updated. You can check. Let's close this and make. So this is a very simple way how you can provision or connect your instance, or you can connect through the gcloud command, which is a full command that has every detailed information required for the compute SSH. But since I have done lots of configuration in my gcloud account and has lots of information in my terminal, it is allowed even to write it in a short way. So let's try to see if Apache is already installed. And as you can see, it is installed. And the configuration, the update of the system is done correctly. And now we can follow the other steps. Here I have created some steps, but this was mostly when I created my personal directories. And when you use the default directories of Apache is a little bit shorter. But let's start Apache. Let's close this and we go here. So sudo system. First we have to enable, and then we have to start it. Okay, it's enable, and now we start. Wait, there's something missing here by accident. I deleted one L. Okay, so now it is started, and we have to clone our repository. So we first make sure the Git is installed. So we git clone, we go to our repository, not in this one, in our repository, and we clone where we go to code and we clone our HTTPS URL. We go to our, and we run it. We can do an ls and see that now my repository is saved. If we go to test1 and we do an ls, I can see that I have my index file and the style HTML and CSS file. So the other one is that this file has to be saved in the default directory that Apache has. In this way, the default directory is in this path. So it is var www, and it's not Princiana. This was my personal directory, but it's HTML, which is the default. Let's go to the to see better what comes. Let's do an ls. And as you can see, this is the path, and this is the folder, the default folder of the Apache. If we go inside HTML and we do an ls, we see that there is an index file. If we go ls index.html, we see that there is a default Ubuntu Apache folder file. If we go to the other instance, after we have installed the Apache and we have done the configuration of HTML, we can make sure that all the configuration of our Apache is correct by just accessing this the external IP address. And as you can see now, it is the Apache Ubuntu default page is already showing in my IP address. As you can see, if I do it again this is actually the HTML code, the default code of the Apache that is running right now in my external IP. But in this IP, in this external IP of my instance, I want to run my file that I have created for my website. So index HTML and style HTML, that they are in this location, I want to send them instead of the HTML, the index HTML that is already default saved in HTML file. So we can copy sudo. Let's go back to our directory. Princiana. And we go to test 1. And here we have our files. We do sudo copy index HTML var and we copy it. Now we copy the other file, styles CSS, and we write the path where this file should be saved, HTML, Let's see. Okay, something is wrong. Okay, so we can go to this location here and see if our copy paste was done successfully. So we go cd, let's do a clear. Okay, cd or we go to HTML and we do an ls, and we see that we have already the index file and style, the style file. So to make sure what is inside my index file, we see that now is different. It's not anymore the Ubuntu default page. And if we go to styles, we see that it is saved every information that I have created before. And now it is ready to run the website that I have created, because I don't have to create the virtual host. If you go here and after you have created when you create the default or your personal directory, you have to configure the virtual host. Actually, the virtual host, since I'm using the configuration, the files that they are default by the Apache, there is no need to change it. We can try to go to this location and see that the virtual host actually points to the HTML files or my CD. Let's go here and we see that the default configuration file of virtual host, it's already pointing to HTML where my files are already saved. We can go to L00 default.conf. And we see here that the document root, actually, there is no need for you to update anything. The document root already point to the var www HTML. We can go to back to our instance and try to refresh it. And as you can see, now my resume is ready. If for any reason it's not showing in your screen, then you can do a restart to or reload. You can do a restart to the Apache, and you can check and upload again the IP address that is in your website. If you want to click from here and for any reason your page is still loading, it's because it's running in HTTPS, which we are not, even though we have allowed in the firewall, we still have not generated some certification and we still have not followed some steps, and we still cannot run our website in HTTPS. If we click and we delete the S and we run only in HTTP, we're going to see that our website is uploaded and is not in a secure way, since it is not running in HTTPS. So this is a very simple way how to run a simple website in a default directory of Apache, where you don't have to configure the virtual host and you don't have to create a personal directory. You just use the HTML directory, the default one that Apache has, and the rest it's going to be the same. So this is very simple comparing with the personal directories that you have. Even to create personal directory, you have to change the virtual host, and also to disable the default site. and to enable your site, which is something that you don't have to do when you run your website in the default directory HTML.